So getting to the event and moving through whatever challenges that are happening for you, if there are, is an investment in two ways. One is an investment in your business, because this business model that we have, I mean, how many of you guys have owned a business where you've had monthly overhead, where you've had to rent a space, or you've had to pay insurance, or you've had to, if you have, just type a Y in the comments so that I can see if any of you guys have, and if you want to like even put in what your monthly expenses were or are for the business that you own, go ahead and type that in too, just so that we can get a sense. Because, oops, somebody's off the mute here. Because this is, traditionally, typically, we all know that in this business, we don't have to make a big financial investment to get started. Whereas every other business, pretty much, you're either going to have to do massive education. For me, with massage training, after I went to college, I did massage training. It was about, altogether, probably about $30,000. Then I had my insurance. I rented a space for a while. They took a percentage of everything that I made. I had my massage table. I had to wash my sheets. I had to buy all these different things. So there was the expense to get started, the startup cost, which is high. And then there was the monthly expense of, just the overhead. Right? So if anyone's ever rented a space, and so this is the cool thing about Purium, which can actually make it's sort of like it's a positive, and it can also be a challenge, because the barrier to entry is so low, because there's no overhead except for our products. It can feel like, whoa, there's an expense. Like, this is crazy. Like, this is so much, right? Whereas most people to start a business go into heavy, heavy, heavy debt. I would say average probably about $50,000 to begin a business. And I mean, I have a friend who, she was going to start a franchise. She spent about $40,000 just on the franchising license, just on the franchise itself. And she still hasn't even been able to find a space that she can open the business in. And when she gets that space, she's going to have to renovate it. She's going to have to staff it. She's going to have to buy all the equipment. It's so much to begin a business. And we're so blessed and / sometimes cursed, because when people don't have that kind of skin in the game, when they don't make that huge investment to get started, a lot of times it can be easier to just say, well, that didn't work for me. Because they're, for $500, it's sometimes not enough of an anchor or of an engine to be like, okay, I'm not gonna stop. I invested 50 grand in this. I invested $500,000 in this business. There's no way I'm gonna stop because someone said no to me, or, I'm gonna make sure that I get to that training, because if I don't get that training, I'm not gonna be able to do this, right? So, if any of you guys are still in that dance, doing that dance, trying to figure out, how am I going to get there? I don't know. Is it worth it? Blah, blah, blah. It's just, the fact is that, hang on one second. What's that, baby? Hang on one second, you guys. Sorry. So, if you're still not sure, if you still haven't figured out all of the pieces, I really strongly encourage you to say yes and know that the how will come. To say yes to being here and know that how you're going to get here, you're going to figure it out. I know that it's short timing. The clock is ticking, but this is truly, you're not just coming for the training. You're investing in your story. You are investing in that, being the hero of your own life, and how that can inspire other people to do that same thing in your team in the future. So that's my little spiel there. Did you guys like it? Okay, so here we are. Welcome to Diamond Club. To the Diamond Rise Diamond Zoom. This is Friday, February 2nd. Send a little love to Mama Ocean. It is the day of Yemanjah, who is the the deity of the ocean in the Yoruba tradition. She is revered around the world by many, many different cultures and traditions as being the, this goddess energy of the sea. So if you're not near the ocean, you will be soon. Send her some love and appreciation in advance, because soon you will all be in her beautiful waters out here in Kauai. So thank you, Mama Ocean. And yes, so what I want to share with you guys about, or open up the discussion around, and I also want to thank you for last week I was not present for this, and I had David Litz stand in for me because I was taking some time to invest in my story by taking a writing retreat. So I was actually deeply, deeply immersed in a 7-day long writing retreat, which was very, very powerful, very beautiful, very inspiring, and really is taking home for me this idea of, of sourcing our story, of sharing our story, of speaking our story, and then of being curious and really asking and leaning in to what other people's stories are, and that we get a certain distance by sharing our own story, and the rest of the way, the foundation is asking people to share theirs with us, not necessarily by saying, oh, okay, so tell me your story, like, here's me, blah, 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 so what about you? It's not that cut and dry. It's really holding this space that you are incredibly interested and loving and curious, and holding open a space for someone else to be able to tell you and share with you and trust you. And when you have someone's trust, and when you hold their story in your heart, then you are really moving in the direction of being able to support them in many, many ways. So that's a beautiful foundation to be coming from. And that all being said, I want to share some stories with you guys today, and then I'm going to open it up, and this is really going to be story session. And what this story session is going to be on is brand partners and enrolling brand partners. It's where we're going to go into telling each other what has worked, how the heck have you gotten your brand partners, either in the old system or the new system, but how are we helping people to say yes to this, not just for the products, but really to see the vision of joining us on this mission. And I just did this whole Diamond Zoom, maybe I'll post it, about our why and our financial experience. And really being able to connect with people and know that almost every single person on the planet right now, except for a few, and probably everybody on some level, is praying for money. People are really, and that the fact is that financial stress is more damaging to our health, possibly even than nutritional depletion. That financial stress, and we did this whole exercise and everyone was like, oh my gosh, I feel lighter. Like, I feel like I can stand up straighter, because we're all kind of being like, pushed down by lack, by perceived lack, by limitation, by how we're relating to what we have, and how that forces us or pushes us to relate in different ways with different people. Right? So what we're going to be talking about today is, how are we successfully enrolling brand partners, or how have we in the past? And I'm going to give you guys a couple of quick stories just to get you rolling, get your ideas rolling here on some of the key people in my team and how I enrolled them. So and then I'm going to open it up, and I just want to hear everybody, how you're doing it, what you're doing. So when I first got started, my story was that I was praying. I was praying, and I was actively seeking and putting down work to get myself into a different financial reality. That was my goal in my life at that time. And I was thinking I was going to go one direction. I was very turned off by Purium and that MLM thing that my friends were doing. Ugh, another one of those silly things that they're doing. And I was totally closed off to it. No, don't talk to me about that. Go away. I don't want your plastic bottles, right? And then I had this woman who shared with me. Now, she was very, very, very powerful in how she did this. So she was working with another company that was cleanse oriented. And she started to tell me about it. I met her at this party and she started to kind of like, we were comparing notes on cleansing. I was doing other kinds of cleanses, not Purium. And I was just kind of like, yeah. And she stopped completely right there. Boom. Like she did not mention her products again. After about 5 minutes, she just totally shut her information center. She was not like, oh, but this one's so different. And, oh, but take a look at the ingredients. Okay, try a shake. You're going to love it. Come on. You know, she just left it right there on the table. Now she was making about, well, I won't go into that part of the story yet. So let's just say she was a very sophisticated, she understood, she had the experience and the skills to really understand that less is more. And she did not try to convince me to love her products. She started talking to me. She started asking me questions. She started telling her story. It's not like she just went bleh and like told me her story. She weaved in and out. She reflected to me. She listened to me. She shared. She listened to me. She shared. She asked questions. I shared. She listened. She shared. It was this very beautiful 3-hour long. And I was so engaged with her. I mean, I was just like, wow, this woman is like, you know, and she probably listened to me way more than she spoke. And I was just fascinated by her because I was talking the whole time. Wow, this lady's like amazing, right? Because she just listened to me. She let me share. And she heard what I was saying. And she heard what I wasn't saying behind the words that I was sharing, right? So she was very carefully attentive to me and really taking in who I was and what I was looking for. So for 3 hours, we resonated, we chatted, we had a great time. We talked about business. I shared, you know, my plans about making this online thing. And then at the very end of the night, she gave me a 10-second, 3 hours of conversation, 5 minutes of like product stuff, boom, ended. 3 hours of conversation. At the end of the night, 10 seconds. She's leaving the party and she said, you know, it was just so great meeting you. I loved connecting with you. And I wanted to let you know that I really was hearing your desire for residual income. Okay, so she heard me and she reflected back to me. I know this is what you're looking for. She didn't start the conversation with, I know this is what you're looking for. She ended it. She gave me so much space. She said, I know you're looking for residual income, and with the company that I'm working with right now, I'm making $15,000 to $20,000 a month. You're amazing. I know that you could totally rock this, and I'd love to mentor you. Here's my number. Give me a call. Now, I want to really share with you guys, you do not need to be making that much money. You do not need to be making money, period, in order to do the very same thing. Okay, so don't think, oh, I'm not making enough money to do that, right? It's not about how much money you're making. It's about how much you listen to somebody. And she could easily have said to me, you know, I really it was awesome meeting you. I'm hearing what you're looking for residual income. And I'd love to share some information with you because I have an opportunity that could easily take care of be what you're looking for. It doesn't have to be, I'm making this much money. Or you could say, you know, I'm working with someone who's leveraging some like this to be making that much money, $30,000 a month or whatever, you know, and I'd love to introduce you to this person. But you don't need to be like already in that place. You can share a tool and put them in a Shift to Wealth, or you could just ask questions. Well, you know, if I shared a video with you about creating residual income in a different way, would you be open to checking it out? You know, something like that, and then just put them through the funnel. It doesn't have to be coming directly from you. In that case, when she shared that with me, the way that she did, because she waited so long, because she didn't just see me and say, oh my God, I want to work with you. This is residual income. It's just what you're looking for. This is going to be way better for you than doing that other thing that you're thinking about. I would have just been like, no matter how much money she was making. She could have been making $100,000 a month, and I just would have been like, whatever, lady, you know, like, right? But it was the way she held it and the way she held me in the interaction that created the opening for me. Now, of course, I didn't end up signing up with her because I knew her products were not for me, but that was what inspired me to take a deeper look at Purium. Okay, so it's a very it's fluid. It's not like this is not a script. It's not a cookie cutter mold, but it's just to really illustrate to you guys that less is more. If you start to feel yourself saying a bunch of things, stop talking and ask a question. If you start to hear yourself talking more, like giving them information, just stop and start asking more questions. Because if you give them a ton of information in the beginning, you close the door on that whole conversation. There's no reason for them to get more info from anywhere else. Okay? So that's the story about how I got started. Now I'm going to tell you guys another couple quick stories about how I got some of our beautiful leaders started. So I'm going to start with 3 and see how I feel after that. So the very first builder that I signed up, Tevye Wisdom Jones, who is now a Black Diamond, I enrolled him the day after the first event that I went to. So here's another clue. You guys are just following the breadcrumbs right here, right? This is the story, the whole story. I was not going to go to that event. Heck no, was I going to go? I did not have the money. I was not going to leave my husband with my 2 kids and take my infant on an airplane to fly. I didn't have a place to stay. I didn't have money for a car. No way. I was like, I'm not going over there to that event. No way am I going to do that. And I was supported by my upline, by Willow. She held the vision. We shared a rental car. We slept on my auntie's floor in Waimanalo with the baby. And we made it happen. And what happened at that event is that not only was the event, I got to meet Dave Sandoval. It like completely opened up this whole part of me that was like, okay, I'm home. Right? Before that, I was like, this is a good business opportunity, maybe. And after that, I was like, this is my family. Right? So after that event, Tracy had a gathering and she was sharing her tips and tricks. And she was training us, right? On a more personal level, more intimate. And I was like, okay, Tracy, give me your best stuff. I got to go get on this airplane, fly back to my family. What's the one thing? Tell me the one thing. What is your best technique, your trick? And she told me green light chat messaging on Facebook. So again, this is one of those things where it's not, and I know you guys have heard these things over and over, but this is like, sometimes it lands differently. It's not about getting on Messenger and giving them bunches of information. So I got home. I was looking at my computer on my bed and I was like, maybe I should check out this chat thing she was talking about. I was like, green light, yeah. And so I get on the computer and literally there in the chat box was Tevye, and I hadn't talked to him for like 7 years. But I was high on this information, on this experience. I was like, ooh. So I started chatting with him, and Tracy had told me, she's like, I just start 20 to 30 different messages and I just say, hey, how are you? Until somebody responds and I start a conversation with them. I never send a whole scripted thing that's like, hi, Sylvia. We haven't spoken in a while, but I was thinking of you because I had this great opportunity and I thought that you might like to take a look. Right? I mean, it can work, but the percentages are going to be different, right? Maybe you'll get some people that respond, but it's going to be higher if you're actually talking to them like they're people. So I started the conversation and I was like, how's it going? He's like, oh my gosh, it's been forever. I was like, yeah, how are you? He said, I'm good. How are you? And I said, I'm good. I'm just about to do this cleanse. And he said, oh, really? I want to do a cleanse. And I was like, really? I was like, what? You want to do a cleanse? So I sent him a video. I walked him through the tools right there. He was like, this is amazing. I've been looking for something, right? And then we had actually done a network marketing company together, had done one, like I signed up and ate goji berries for a while in one a few years ago. And so I knew that he was, open to that on some level, although I didn't really say much about it. And then by the end of the conversation, he ended up ordering, at that time was a platinum pack, and then he got his roommate one. His roommate got one the next day. So there he was, boom. It took him a while. There was still a lot of other things that were going on until he finally started ranking, hitting diamond and stuff. But it was like, that was my first Facebook success story. I was like, wow, that just happened. That's crazy, right? So then we had Rachel. Rachel, this is even more random, you guys. This is why you have to just do stuff, do things. Like keep action steps are so important. So someone had posted a picture of her abs, day 1 and day 5 of the athlete cleanse. I was literally trying to tag somebody else's name. I was like trying to tag Rachel K instead of Rachel B. I was writing Rachel and then it like popped up her name. And this wasn't even in Core 3. This was like guerrilla tactics, you guys. This was like a whole nother like time and space. We didn't have all the good tools and stuff. I was just like, oh, cool, abs. And I started tagging people. I must have tagged like 10 people on that post. And one of them was Rachel. I clicked on her name and she got tagged. She reached out to the person whose post it was and was like, what is this thing? And luckily that girl sent her back to me. So Rachel called me and was asking me questions, and I got her on a connect call right then with Mele. Great, Tal. Awesome. Yeah, this is great, Tal. I love it. Action, sister. So she's on the phone with Mele and she's like, is this a network marketing company? And I was just like, oh God, she's asking. Oh shit, she's gonna know. And Mele was like, yeah, it is. And Rachel was like, oh my God, that's so awesome. I've been looking for a network marketing company. All my friends are doing doTERRA and it's like doTERRA's opportunity isn't happening anymore. Bye, Ash, come back soon. Just like, it's, that's kind of like played out, but I want to be the one to take Purium to California. And I want to be the one to take Purium to California. And I was like, oh my God, this is so crazy. I can't believe this is happening. I was tripping. And then of course the other shoe fell and she's like, but I don't have the money. Anybody else ever have that happen? You have someone who's like super, super excited with the opportunity. It's either like, sometimes it feels like either they have the money and they're not interested, or they don't have the money and they want it more than anything. Yeah. Okay. It happens, right? So I just got creative with her and I told her, hey, you know what? This is something you can do. Find someone that can split the package with you, because at that time it was like, slightly different. And I was like, find someone to split the package with you. You keep the gift cards, he keeps the product. You guys split the product, whatever. Like I came up with some solution. And she called me back a month later and she said, I saw someone in California with Purium. I just found someone who's going to split the package with me. Like, we got to get him on a call right now. I'm doing this. And she bought it the next day, and she went diamond. Like, I think that month, I think she even went diamond in a month. I mean, it was just like, she signed up her yoga teacher and it just went crazy from there. So one person, I used the green light chat technique. The other person, I totally just randomly messaged, tagged her on something in Facebook, and she was inspired, right? The third person I'm going to talk about is Monica. I think she's even on here. Hi, Monica. Monica was someone who I knew right away. She was like probably the first person that I called. Like, Monica, you have to do this with me. This was made for you. You're selling eco clothes and vitamin mineral green. You're not making any commission on that. Do this with me, sister. And she was like, meh, I'm not really that interested in that. And then she finally said yes. And then she like didn't have a great experience with her cleanse, and she sent it back. And my belief in the products was like, it was like a full on like plane crash right there. I was like, oh my God, these products are bad. They're horrible. I can't promote this. This is awful. Monica didn't like it, right? But then I got over it. Tracy told me to tell her 3 things that I was grateful for in that moment. And I was like, okay, all right, I can handle. And then I just stayed with her. And it was sort of like that customer converting to a brand partner type of energy, right? Except she wasn't even really a happy customer. She was an unhappy customer converted into a brand partner. So I just stayed with her. I kept on talking to her, dripping on her, telling her how much fun I was having, telling her how much I would love to be working with her. And eventually she reordered. She kind of tried the products again. She was interested. She was like interested in the money, but she wasn't really like fully engaged until she came to an event. The event that I went crown at. She heard me, she saw me hit crown on that stage and heard my speech and like that whole energy. And the next month she hit diamond. Correct me if I'm wrong, Monica, but I think it was the next month, or maybe it was like that started her diamond run and she hit it in like 3 months or something. But it basically was like, it was being at the event. It was being at that energy, in that energetic space, right? Of like, so she was someone who I literally like called up the phone and I prospected and I did not accept her no, because I could see it. I was like, she has to do this with me. I didn't get scared. I got scared and then I kept going anyway. I was like, oh my God, she said no to me. Then she said yes, and she got the products and she said no again and she sent them back. And it was just like this whole, it was torture. It was torture for me. I was torturing myself around this whole scenario, and still I managed to stay courageous enough to continue to invite her, to continue to help her get to events, to continue. And then now she's an amazing shiny green diamond on her way to blue, rocking it, right? The 4th story, and this will be my last, is Ashley Castro. Ashley is someone who I didn't even know. She was an influencer on Instagram. She had 20-something thousand followers. I had like seen her at some point and been like, wow, that girl's so cool. She has so many followers. And I posted I peppered in my social media my story. And this is what we were talking about last week or the last time, like my wealth story. It wasn't just my product story, it was my wealth story. It was like why I wanted to be changing the way that I was living, what was up for me, what was real for me, what was my vulnerable self story about how my life was changing or how I wanted it to change, really putting it out there. And she wrote a post, and I'm telling these are my stories where I'm telling how I got my brand partners, and then some of these ladies might jump on and tell you how they got some of their brand partners. So I'm not telling their story, I'm telling my story. But so she wrote a post one day about how she desperately wanted to bring her husband home from work because he wasn't there to be raising their children with her. And someone commented on that post whose profile she clicked on. And then she saw a picture and she clicked on that picture. She saw some other comment and she like went onto that person's profile. And then she went onto another person's profile somehow. And then she saw my name and she clicked on my name and she started clicking on my pictures. And every single picture that she clicked on had something to do with my story that was resonating with her and what she was praying for. It wasn't like this one big like post that I did, this one post. It was this huge post. It was a whole story, and she followed my story. She sent me a message on Instagram that same day and was like, I really want to start doing Purium. And I said, what's your phone number? She sent it to me. I got on the phone with her and we had a whole conversation, and then I got her on the phone with Tracy, and now she's another green diamond. So there's many ways to attract Josephine. You're like right in the middle of the screen. I'm seeing her. She's like, just feeling it. I love it. Hi. There's so many different ways to bring in, to share with people about what we have from a business standpoint. And that's what I would like to do right now, is just open it up and hear. I know there's a lot of people. Linda is one of them. Linda, I'd love to hear you come on at some point during the call, and share with me, share with us, share with the collective, like how have you welcomed new business partners into your life, into your team, into what we're doing here? What has worked for you, and how have you done that? So I'm really curious. I want to hear all of the good vibes, all the stories, all of the amazing experiences that you guys have been having. And it can be at any point in your journey. It doesn't have to be the last one. And I know there's been some new brand partners coming in. So anybody want to share? Come on, everybody. Linda. Oh, Monica, go for it, girl.
I can share. Sorry, I was washing the dishes. I don't get to see everyone because I'm on my phone here, but so you guys heard my story. So I mean, I have so many different little nuggets and stories, and I'll share a couple of quick ones, you know, because I'd love to hear some. It's so nice to hear some of the newer people and your stories too, and just to bring that inspiration, because there's really no right or wrong or do this, do that. We all have a different magnetizing energy that we bring in and our story, and it's going to help. It's going to help each other as we hear each other's stories. So I'll talk about Christina first. Christina Alman, she's a good friend of mine for many years, and she's on the Big Island. I think she's on the call here with us today. And she was watching me for over a year, you know, and seeing me post, and Sarah, because she's good friends with Sarah as well. So she was seeing us post and do our thing, and then she kind of started tuning in with me and asking me, you know, I'm curious about that cleanse, but I don't know. I have my gardens. I'm pretty roots and ITAL and have my amazing diet already, and I'm good, but I'm kind of curious, you know. And so she kept kind of tuning in occasionally, and she would call me, and then she'd be like, okay, and then she would just disappear, right? You know, that one when like people, they're like, sure, yeah, I'm totally interested. And you even get them on a connect call, and then they just disappear right after, right? It was kind of like that with Christina, where she was like saying she was interested. And I wasn't even leading with the business, honestly. I was actually still in this place of leading. I had finally said yes. I had finally, you know, Sarah went crown, and I was like, okay, I'm doing this, you know. And it was like shortly that whole year that she didn't say yes, it was like before I had really said yes to it. I was kind of dripping in it, right? So, but she was still kind of watching my story, and then finally, like a year later, she called me, and I finally got her in a connect call with Sarah. And by the end of the conversation, she got a launch pack, you know, and the launch pack then was more the 2 of the 40-day programs plus the unlimited gift cards. That was our launch pack before for $9.99. And I thought she was going to get a cleanse, right? And then by the end of the call, because of Sarah's amazingness and just all of what we have here, right? She was like, okay, I'm going to do this. And my husband's sleeping, and I don't know how he's going to feel about this, but I'm just making the plunge, you know? So boom, that was my first like real builder, you know, and Christina's now a diamond, you know, and she went diamond fairly quick, you know, after that. And so that was really cool. So that year journey of her just watching me, and really, I feel like that's my story with a lot of people, a lot of my builders is, they watched me for a while. It was that consistency piece, you know, we talk about that so much, where it's like, when we have to be consistent with our business. We have to be willing to keep putting ourselves out there. We have to keep, in different ways, and shine bright and do our thing, you know, take that consistent action, and that willingness to lean into those uncomfortable places, all these things. So as I was going on my journey through the last year and a half, it's really been that with people. They've been watching me. And Maria Mango, she's on here. She's another good friend of mine who I knew from Kauai back in like 2002. We haven't even really seen each other, I don't think, since then. Amazing musician, beautiful, bright light. Maybe occasionally saw each other on Facebook. She called me last summer, or, you know, we started connecting finally, and she's like, I want to do Purium. And I'm like, cool. And I'm like, trying to start telling, let me add you to the group. And she's like, girl, I've been watching you for a year and I've already done my research. I want the launch pack. I didn't even have to like tell her, you know, she's like new. She's like, it took me a year and like, but you know, I really am just resonating and dove in, you know, and she just went executive a few months ago. She's totally rocking it and creating a beautiful team. And, yeah. And then Lolly, I'll just share one more quick one so Lolly as well, another person who's on here, and she's been watching me, and I've even got her on calls. But really, like I said, it's all this similar story of just people watching me show up, you know, because I think what happens a lot, and the piece I really see happen a lot, is people come in and we have these high expectations of ourselves, and maybe we meet those goals, and that's amazing. But so often we get disappointed if we don't, right? And then people come in excited and they drift away really fast. But if we can remember, it's really that consistency piece. It's going to just keep building. Our businesses are going to keep building. People, if we don't give people that year that it might take them, you know, and even my process, right, of returning and just being patient with that, even somebody, even like your most excited person right now who you want on your team, maybe they even returned already, or they're just kind of like, it might take them a couple of years. But if they see you continuously showing up, they're going to most likely eventually just be excited. And so Lolly was another person like that for me. And now she's my newest, most excited person. And it's fueling me, right? It's fueling me to feel her yellow, red energy and just going for it. And she signed up 2 new brand partners last week. And this is just her second month or third month in, you know, so she's rocking it. So that's my share, just consistency.
Awesome. Thanks, Mana. Yeah, definitely. So powerful. If you feel like that image, there's that beautiful image of the beautiful, it's not beautiful, but it's very powerful, of the guy digging for diamonds, right? And he's like digging in the top picture, and the diamonds are right there. And in the bottom picture, he turns around and he's this far away from the diamonds. One more strike with his thing and he would have hit it. And he gave up right there. And that's, you know, that can happen. And it does happen. That happens to people all the time. And the question is, you know, is that going to happen to you? And if you have people who, like, I just love what you said, Monica, where like you're being fueled now, like you have this like beautiful energy, this, you know, it's like our team members, passionate, inspired people, when they come into our team, it inspires us, and that in turn infuses inspiration into the whole team again. Because then it's like, oh, like let me check on this person. And like once we start to get into that vibration, and that's why that word, those words, newest, most excited people, are so important. Because if you're just sitting there and you're like trying to get the people who are stagnated or who have kind of, you know, drifted away, and you're just like, come back, you know, and you're really putting all your energy in the direction of people who are not inspired, then it's going to drain you. Whereas if you find that one person, even if they're way down deep under like 3-4 other people, but they're inspired and they're excited, start working with them. Put all your energy there, and then that will start to build that energy and bring that energy into the whole team through you. So Lolly, did you want to jump on there?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm sorry. I'm shopping in office store, getting a blue pin to affirm all of my goals I have for this month. Yeah, I'm super excited about what's going on right now. I finally made time to sit down and write my why story, and I posted that this past week. And first of all, that was really powerful for me because I didn't actually do that when I first started. It hadn't, you know, like honestly, I was like, well, you know, I got this. This is so easy. No. And I sat down and I wrote my why. And I actually had one of the most, I just didn't expect it. Most of my business I'm building on Facebook right now. So all through social media. And so this woman that I happened to meet, her wife in McCall, Idaho, had been following me on Facebook, and she saw that post and she was like, yes, I'm tired of my money story. Like, what do I need to do? What do you got? So I sent her a message, and I sent her the video, the farm to market video, or farm to family video. And she was like, yes, okay. I don't know what this is. I don't even care what it is. Yes. She was like, I don't know where the money is going to come from. Same story that I had with Monica. I don't know where the money is going to come from. I have no idea how I'm going to manifest this, but I'm going to do this. So she literally got off the phone with me. She said a prayer. And 2 days later, the money showed up, all of it, for her to buy her entire launch pack. I'm so moved by this. Like, her entire launch pack, and buy every product that she needed. So she bought a 40-day transformation as well. And she has been like keeping me on my toes since she has started. Like, I'm literally having to run, and she's running behind me, and she's running beside me, and she's like, you know, she's on fire. She sees it like I saw it. And when I said yes, you know, with Monica, when I said yes, I felt it. It moved me. It moved my whole world. You know, it's changed my whole world so far. And the more I write about that, and the more I put that on social media, the more people are feeling that authenticity. They're feeling my heart, and they're feeling called to want a journey. And I've been in, like, yesterday and all day today, because I'm just running. I'm like running for Diamond right now. And I've been in conversations all day today, all day yesterday. And I noticed the more I get organized, the more I take action. The top 3 of my list every day, I set three goals for myself, like David Litt talks about. And I'm starting to see results from that. And I've only been doing this for 2 months. And so the more of my heart I put into it, the more of my time, and it is hard work, and I'm totally okay with that. And I'm really stoked that I have this woman now that wants to build with me, because it makes me feel inspired. And I just feel like, yes, other people are seeing it with me, and they're ready to end that money story. So thank you for letting me share. And thank you, Monica, for like having a year's worth of patience with me, because it took me a year. And now I'm here. So thank you, guys. Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lolly. Woo! So you guys are, you know, you can really hear that, like, that mirroring there of this energy of the newest, most excited person. That newest, most excited person, like, you want to really make sure. And this is something that when you guys have a new builder, and Lolly and Monica just had like a 2-hour connect call together with these new builders that Lolly brought on. And that if you bring on somebody who's brand new, you want to make sure that right away you get them, like, you should have at least 2 conversations between them and your upline, like the first one to help them get enrolled, and the second one as soon as you can to help them get oriented and trained. Don't feel like, okay, I have this builder, now I'm just gonna like carry the builder like boulder, you know, like, oh, this is my new builder. Like, that does not duplicate you. The instantaneous plugging them in and getting them trained, not by you. That first couple times, like, eventually, yeah, you can start to be the one for a while, but you want to make sure that you're getting them connected into your upline right away and often at the beginning. So, because that's how you're going to figure out how to train people. Otherwise, you don't know how to train someone. If you're new and you have a new person and you're just like, okay, like, I don't know anything, but I'm going to try to like teach you what to do, then it fizzles, right? Whereas when you connect people to your upline, it starts to build their confidence and yours. So I'm going to open it up here. I'm going to have to end this pretty much right at time. So I wanted to see if Linda, would you like to jump on, or Heather?
Hello.
Hi.
Hey. Yeah, inspiration. I mean, like, I'm super excited, like, to get my first builder. I mean, I guess I've been desiring that for so long, with my, 6.5 months, whatever. I just felt like I would do great things if I could just get that one person, and obviously it would flow into more. But I finally, my builder, the new one, she's been watching me. She's like one of my first people I went and talked to. I was like, hey girl, I got this thing. It's so awesome. You're going to love it. And she actually at that moment had said, well, I'm actually looking for something else income wise. And I was like, well, here you go. but that was 6 months ago, and she kind of just fizzled off into things, but I kept with her. And then just getting her connected to you recently, which was such an amazing call. It was fun to have that energy. Hold on. Oh, get it. It's sorry. It's just a ladybug. Ladybug, you're okay. So anyway, she was just so, I mean, it was just so much fun. We had, I kind of just got her to the call by saying, hey girl, you know, you're getting ready to do your cleanse. I'd love to do a healthy happy hour with you. And, you know, at your place and, you know, kind of host that thing, but I don't want you to have any regrets that I take all your customers. So why don't you get on the call with Sarah and just see, like, I want you to be 100%. I don't want you to be mad at me later down the road. You know, that I get all these customers and you're not. And I said, you're going to rock this and you need to get on a call and talk to my friend. So that's just how it transpired. But it's been super fun, and I'm motivated now, inspired. I guess this consistency piece is a huge part of making it happen. So
awesome. And then tell us what happened after you enrolled her.
What does that mean?
Well, I just know that I saw that she went consultant, right?
Oh yes, she did. She actually. It was so funny. I guess right after she enrolled, her husband was like, well, if you're going to do this cleanse thing, I guess, you know, let me get the athletes cleanse and let me do this too. So then she, you know, got him on board, and then she got her mom, and her mom was fighting it so bad. So funny. But yeah, she rocked it. She just went ahead and started sharing and got consultant in a week. So
awesome. It's so inspiring. And so you guys can hear, right? It's not like, you know, it's not necessarily going to be this huge, like, bomb that just drops on top of you and all of a sudden, like, your crown, you know, like, oh, I'm going to be crowned. And like, you're looking at your watch. It's like, it's been 3 months and I'm not, you know, sometimes it takes, everyone has a totally different trajectory in this business. And some people will go to like diamond in a month. And I love Tala's story. You know, he's got an amazing hero's journey. It's so powerful. Like, he went diamond his first month and then he didn't hit diamond again for 2 years. And then the next month, the rooster's agreeing with me. The next month that he hit diamond, he hit green diamond that same month. So he didn't hit diamond for 2 years. And then he went to green diamond. Like, you know, I mean, there's so many different ways. There's as many different ways as there are people who are doing this business to do it. And the one critical thing is not giving up. It's not giving up. It's just continuing to go forward and, you know, and continuing to learn and continuing to try new things. Because if you're just like hitting the, you know, if you're not trying new things, it also takes honesty and really looking at yourself and leaning into those edges and really getting clear about what it is that you need to shift in order to make this happen for yourself. But if you give up, it definitely will never happen. So, Heather, would you be open to sharing a little bit here?
Yeah, I can share quickly, as long as the baby cooperates. So with I just enrolled a new builder, and it's been kind of like, I feel like I'm in like this tortoise. I'm like the tortoise in the race, because I've like kind of like been hard on myself with my like slow progress. But what I find so powerful in this instance is that I knew that this business was what she was looking for, but I never told her like, this is what you're looking for. I never told her this is the business that you need. I just like held that in the back of my head and let her have her experience with the products, because that's what she was seeking at first. And I let her have that experience. What was so awesome in her case was that she came in when we were just switching over to the new system. So she had 5 gift cards. and she ended up just randomly sharing one. Like I didn't even know that she had been doing that. And she got paid. And she was like, whoa, wait a minute here. Like, this is what I'm looking for. And so it just it went from there. But it was just me like being able to hold that space for her and hold that vision for her without telling her like over and over and over again, like browbeating her, like, this is it, like, this is what you're looking for, like, this is what you need. Even though like that's the energy I was feeling like inside myself, like, this is it, like, this is what you need. But I didn't say it one time. I just let it like happen organically, which is a good lesson for me because I get really knee jerky with people. And
in the past, I would get really knee jerky with people. So it's been a great learning experience. I'm excited. She's coming to Kauai, so you guys all get to meet her. Woo! She's awesome. Yeah, it was so funny. Like, and then I'm gonna have Lucy come on after this. But it was so funny because Heather was like, "Oh, I'm never gonna have anyone want to do this with me. It's been so long, and like I've just it was like she was like so in her process, and I was like, girl, just like give yourself some love. Like, turn off your phone for the night, drink some tea. Don't torture yourself. Like, that's not magnetic, like just love your baby, be in that space for the night." And then the next day she got me on a Connect call with Ty, and it was awesome. She bought her launch pack that day, bought her ticket to Hawaii. That, was like, and I was just telling, she was so ready, and she's a powerhouse. Like, she's amazing personality and totally like in sales already. So it's like, we just never know. We can never compare. And we also have to really take care of ourselves too. So it's this balance, and there are going to be definitely times, you guys, when you're going to go out of balance. Like Tala was talking about earlier on this other call, that he spent the past, 4 months doing like 6 to 8 Connect calls a day. When the momentum is there, like when it's happening, like you got to be ready to just be like, okay, like I am doing this. Like, that's how almost every single person that's ranked diamond or beyond has really, when that momentum comes, it's like being willing to be there with it. I mean, I spent a lot of time in this journey, like being completely available to my business. And now, 3 years in, I have totally changed my life, and I have a lot more flexibility. So it's being able to also work hard and know that this isn't just like something where it's like, oh, get rich quick scheme, like, like, I'm here, show me the money, I'm ready to catch my bag of dollar bills. It's like, it takes work, and it takes commitment, it takes dedication, it takes consistency. And it is something that can absolutely and will absolutely move you into a whole different relationship with who you are, how you show up, and what your life is and will be. So who's ready to commit now? If you're feeling it, drop a 1. Lucy, did you want to jump in and share, babe?
Aloha, everyone. I put the earphones on because even we have beautiful Kauai, but it's raining here today. So hopefully it's going to clear up for us for next week. But yes, I would just want to say about the consistencies. Monique was saying that's the most important part. And also just when you're running for diamond, as most of us are running right now, just notice and learn from the diamonds. They are helping you. And in my case, it's Beck. And last month, even I didn't rank the rank I was running for, but underneath me, 2 beautiful ladies ranked director and consultant. And I was really watching Beck how she was helping me as she is in my upline. And I've been learning from her so much. So I just wanted to thank you, Sarah, too. And I know Stephanie is here, and Robin and Monica, and it's the company. And I always remember the Farm to Family video when Amy talking about that so many, now probably thousands and thousands people rely on her and Dave, that they cannot give up. And I always think about that too. I cannot just like, okay, I'm done with this, because I have all these other people who perhaps, will text me, call me, hey, Lucy, what can I use? Can you help me with this? So that's the other part, that you take the responsibility, and especially when you reach the diamond, you're responsible for all these, all these people you are helping and nourishing. And so I want to share that. So thank you very much, Sarah, for all your support too, and everybody else. And yeah, let's keep going. It's beautiful. Mahalo. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lucy. Oh, you're so inspiring. And, Lucy has shared her story at Healthy Happy Hours and things around here on Kauai, and you might get to hear her when you're here. But she has a beautiful son who has Down syndrome, and the products have completely changed his, it's amazing to see how much he's transformed from the help of these superfoods. And this word responsibility can feel heavy. It can feel sometimes like, oh my gosh, I'm so responsible. Like, we can, like, how we translate in our own like inner world the information that's coming in. So, if that word feels intense or heavy to you, just remember that, it's beautiful, because there's so many, like, this, the way that this works, the way that the paradigm that we're in with this business model is that I succeed when you succeed, right? This is not a top down. This is bottom up. This is like, we reach down into our teams, we support people, and that's how we get supported. Whereas like the traditional models of, medicine and coaching and kind of all these things, it's like, you pay me and I give you a cure, and whether or not it works, or I give you the I wave my wand, I snap my fingers, and if it works, great. And if it doesn't, you can either pay me more or pay somebody else more. Right? And what we're doing is completely different. It's a totally different model. And it can be, it is a labor of love at the beginning. We have to be able to step into that mindset of an entrepreneur and know that we're sometimes going to be working really hard, putting our energy out there, giving of ourselves, and we might not be getting paid a lot at the beginning, right? And we're also investing in people. We're supporting people to be able to find their footing as a leader. We're helping them to grow. We're supporting people to all be together here, lifting each other up and changing, again, growing and changing how we're showing up in our world. And when we do that, that's when the residual income starts to come in. It's actually helping people shift themselves and their relationships with challenge and with disappointment and with, whatever it is, but it's really helping to uplift and raise us all up. And that's the magic. And it is a responsibility. We do have responsibility, but it's really special to have this kind of responsibility. And it's a totally different kind of responsibility than when your boss is telling you, okay, like, you're not allowed to leave work until you do this, or like, you're only going to get a raise if you do this, and like, we're responsible. We have the responsibility. That means we have the power, right? We have the power over our own selves in this, and we are completely, we're empowered and we're free in that way. So, yeah, awesome, you guys. Well, I'm supposed to be on the Connect call right now. Although both of the beautiful women who I'm going to be talking to are on this Zoom right now. So I'm going to honor that time and jump on over to that responsibility of mine. But I just want to thank you all for being here. Oh, really quickly, I'm going to do one more giveaway for another network notebook. I have 2 left. And the giveaway is going to be closed on Friday, the following Friday, and I'm going to give the books at the regional out here. So there's 2 books. There's 2 contests. One is for every customer that you enroll, you get an entry in the drawing. and the other one is every brand partner in the next week. So this is only 1 week. So I want you guys to post in the Rise group when you have a new customer or a new brand partner get started with you, so that I can count your entries and give those giveaways for you guys. And then there will not be, this class will not be happening in the coming Friday, because almost all of you are going to be here in Kauai. So we're going to be hanging out and surfing. So I'm not going to be on the Zoom. And then I'm looking at potentially shifting the format a little bit after that. So we'll still have the accountability group happening, but I may shift it up a little bit and kind of keep it fresh. So just some little FYIs. So definitely I'll post like the little post about the hashtag and everything in the group, so you guys can be posting your enrollments for the next week. And because February is a shorter month, really you're going to want to lean into the weekends this month. March is typically like the biggest, no, I think it would be nice I would like to see everyone posting all week. I just want to have that excitement in the group. So post away, you guys. And if you want to make one post each, and then if you're updating, if you have more, you can type it in the comments or something. But yeah, let's celebrate ourselves and each other for our achievements and our excitements and, you know, all these wonderful things that we're doing. So, yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm super excited to see you all at Kauai. It's going to be so awesome. If anyone needs anything, let me know. Lolly, we need you to come. I'm looking at you, girl. You're coming. We're figuring out a way for you. You're going to be here. Yeah. All right. Love you guys. We will talk soon. See y'all out here. Aloha.
Bye, everybody.